It's hump day.
That's what's going on, everybody. It is hump day. It is collecting profit day. Hope everybody is doing well. Happy Wednesday. Lot of bunch of stuff going on in sports. If you're a sports fan, you know we got teams clinching. Matty Ice's Indiana Pacers have clinched for the Eastern Conference Finals. Hopefully they'll go up against my New York Knicks. But unfortunately, we got to wait another game. Knicks could not get it done. Wish they would have, but they didn't. But hey, not a lot you could do. Tatum, Jason Tatum getting hurt. I mean, that's that really stinks. You hate to see anybody get that type of injury. Hopefully though, him, being as young as he is, he'll be able to, come back, and have a good, have a great rest of his career. We got Ryan in the house, Matty Ice, Big John. What's happening? Yeah, I mean the Pacers are. I mean the didn't expect that out of the the Cavaliers. But I tell you, I look at it this way. You don't root for another players to get hurt, but let's face it. The truth of the matter is this: if you could go ahead and play a team when they are not at their best, to make to go deep in the playoffs, hey, it is what it is. Again, you don't wish to go ahead and for people to be hurt, get hurt or anything, but again, it is what it is. It's not, that's the the life of sports. The other team is not going to feel bad for you. The Knicks shouldn't feel bad for the Celtics because they lost Jason Tatum. I mean, whoever it is, I'm sure the Timberwolves aren't sad because the Warriors lost, Steph Curry. I mean, that's sports. That's the way it is. Teams, they like to play. Everybody goes, I'd rather have their best. I'd rather have their best. The sports person in me, the guy, the kid who's playing, who played baseball those years and all that kind of stuff. I can agree with that. Hey, you would want to play someone at their best because that's truly your measuring stick, right? But by the same token, when you're playing to advance, hey, if another team isn't at their best, another team isn't at their best. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is from that standpoint. You just got to go ahead and get it. Yeah, they're gonna get some much needed rest. Very good for them. Dom, what is happening, buddy? Hope you are doing well. um, hey, a couple of announcements, one announcement, I guess, one big announcement. In the description, if you look at the video, you will see it says card sale. That's right. I'm going to have my first card sale on Dibdit. There is a link. It is next Thursday night, 8 p.m. I'm going to be co-hosting with Carrie from American Arbitrage Cards. We're going to do a sale together. Going to get my feet wet. And then after that, we, with the weekend, my wife is going to be out of town. So I'm probably going to look to have, a bunch of card sales, over the 3-day weekend. What's great about Dibdit is that, the way I'm going to run my card sale is you buy one card, you're going to pay, shipping. But then after that, every other card you buy will be free. Now, the great part is this: you show up on Thursday, you buy one card, you're going to pay shipping. But being that I am not going to go ahead and fulfill any of those orders until after the weekend, if you swing by at one of my other sales and you buy a card at a completely different sale, there is no shipping. So definitely going to be doing that. What are we going to have? I don't know. I've been working. If you see right over there, boxes over there. There's another box somewhere over here. Been working on putting cards together. We'll have some numbered stuff. We'll have some autographs. Inserts, stars, Hall of Fame lots. Probably maybe throw a couple of slabs up there. So we will. What's up, Johnny? How you doing, buddy? How are you? How are you? From there, Johnny. How you doing, sir? How's it going? So yeah, so that'll be next Thursday. Like I said, there is a link in the description, but that'll be it's gonna be the first card sale. So looking forward to doing it with Carrie, getting my feet wet there, and then moving forward. Hopefully have some more sales. Show these guys that I can go ahead, and do sales. Show them that I got stuff to do, which will hopefully then lead me to be able to do breaks on Dibdip because, as you know, I got plenty of products sitting there: football, basketball, baseball, just dying to be broken, and it'll be good to be on a site that would allow me to do it. So that's where we go. That's the big announcement there. Next big announcement is hello, Lachlan. How you doing, buddy? Um, Next big announcement is that Friday, my oldest daughter Nicole graduates from medical school. So looking forward to that. Very, very proud of her. She has put in a ton of work to go ahead and get where she is, and it is finally paying off. So we will have Dr. Gentili, the second Dr. Gentili, in the house. First Dr. Gentili is a pharmacist. Well, her last name has changed now because she's gotten married, but now we have the next Dr. Gentili. So thank you, Maddie. Thank you, Dami. Yeah, tell me about it. Either that or Johnny, maybe go ahead and getting a little fatter because we'll be getting a raise once she starts her job and is actually able to get paid rather than us having to go ahead and help her out. But super proud of her. She's put in so much work. Just can't believe it. Can't believe it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I did fix my post on Facebook. My wife told me I had that uh she was graduating from Mexico school. Mexico school. So I fat fingered the D for an X. That's what happens when you type on your phone. But hey, so big news. NFL released their schedule. I didn't really take that much of a look at it. I'm gonna be honest with you. One thing though, guys, I am not a fan out of the United States games. Um, that's just me. Nothing against those countries. Uh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, she is going to be an emergency room doctor. So that's pretty darn cool. So she'll see plenty of stuff. The hospital she's going to be doing her residency at is a trauma hospital also. So she's gonna have a lot of fun. But but football, like I said, they released the schedule and everything, and again, nothing against the other countries and stuff, but I personally am just not a fan of football in the other countries. If I want to watch my team play, I don't want to have to wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, and watch the game or stuff like that. That's just me. Not saying that if you like it, that's great. I don't. To each their own. I mean, you know, interesting. Some interesting matchups. Cowboys and Eagle. I think it's gonna be Cowboys and Chiefs on Thanksgiving Day. But I mean, it is what it is. Are you happy that Rose and others can get into the hall? I planned on talking about that. You know, I I had a feeling this was going to happen. Now, here's the thing that gets me. why did why did Pete Rose have to die for guys like Shoeless Joe Jackson and all those other guys that they went ahead, and said are now, that their lifetime ban has been lifted. That's the thing that gets me. Hey, Sean, how you doing? That's the thing that gets me. Why all of a sudden did the commissioner of baseball have an epiphany that said, wow, hey, you know what? You know, baseball players who have died, they have, they've served their lifetime ban. We're gonna lift it, and if they can go now they're eligible for the Hall of Fame. It is what it is. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, what? I'm like, what do you mean? They died? All these other guys. Shoeless Joe Jackson's been dead for how long? I mean, so I don't get it. I don't get it. Sounds like the final thumb in the eye of Rose. This moment has been speculated for years. But, Brendan, you're 100% correct. It was something that I always thought was going to happen. I said they're going to do this, and when he passes away, they're going to lift the ban. And I thought that was wrong, wrong, wrong. I am sorry. Whether and this has nothing to do. This is not my belief as to whether he should or should not get into the Hall of Fame or anything like that. What he did was different than a lot of other players who've had their 10 years go by that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, that are in the Hall of Fame, whether, based off of, baseball stuff. What is it, right? Is it based on what they did on the baseball field or not? Um, but I knew this was going to happen. Same as you. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And now, same, yeah. So that since 1951. So 73 years, 74 years, Shoeless Joe Jackson has been gone, but now all of a sudden, hey, his sentence has been gone. The Hall of Fame is separate, right? He has not. You're 100% correct. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he goes in the Hall, but now he is eligible, right? Because the Hall of Fame had, if you're on the banned list, you're not eligible. So they are eligible. And then I heard that this somebody came out today, and I guess is not happy about it. And this is the person who will potentially pick the committee that will vote. And there's a 16-person committee. You need 12 people. All this person has to do is find six. Now I know you only need five, but get an extra one just in case somebody changes their mind. They need six people who don't like Pete Rose, can't stand Pete Rose, hate what he did, would never ever vote for him. Put those people on this committee, and Pete Rose will never get in. Should he get in or shouldn't he get in? I don't know anymore. And to be honest with you, I don't care anymore. I don't really care that much about the Baseball Hall of Fame. It's not the Hall of Fame. It's the Hall of the very, very good. There are players in there that don't belong in there. And on one hand, they say there are guys who cheated that shouldn't go in, but then they let in blatant people who have admitted to cheating. So I don't know. I I I, I don't get it. Yeah, that's true. He did go ahead and joke about everything. Rose, POS, the getting baseball plus all the other garbage, great hitter, but a no for me. The Hall of Fame are effing. They are hypocrites. Um, I mean, again, he didn't bet on him when he played. So that's what I'm saying. Where does the line get drawn for that type of stuff? From that standpoint. I'm gonna dig out my 1964 tops for the hell. Yeah. Hey, man, so let me ask you a question. I mean, do you think obviously if he goes in the Hall of Fame, his his cards would get a bump. His collectibles would get a bump, I believe. I believe they probably got a bump just by this being released, but I didn't check. I've been, I just haven't been, able to check over the last few days. Very busy with work, but we'll see. Find out he bet. Yeah. You know, did he bet as a player? I only heard it was as a manager, and plus he's a pedo. Okay, you know no way for in-game betting in those days. Just making stuff up at this point. I agree. That's what I'm saying. I don't think he bet on when he was playing. Um, I do think he went ahead. I mean, he admitted that he did it when he was a manager, not as a player. I don't know. Why is that an issue? Well, they say it's an issue because you could potentially be compromised. Mattingly Hall of Fame debate fills the void. Yeah, yeah. Mattingly is another one of those guys. You know what surprises me about Mattingly um, is the Veterans Committee. From that standpoint, from there, does it open a door for Bonds, Mack, and Sosa, and the other player that won't be named? I, I don't know. I think that's two different things, John. Like Lockett said, I do not think it affects them. But I don't know. There is proof he bet as a player. What I meant is in game was betting on games he could influence. Didn't know about that. Dumac and Sosa actually belong in. Well, I guess the thing about those guys again, when you look at the Hall of Fame, when those guys retired, big numbers still mattered, right? 500 home runs, 3,000 hits, 300 wins as a pitcher. All those numbers actually, meant something. Um, Today's games, those things don't mean anything because it's going to be very rare for us to see those magical, Hall of Fame numbers. If you hit 500 home runs, you're almost guaranteed to be a Hall of Famer. If you had 3,000 hits, you're guaranteed to be a Hall of Famer. If you had, a 300 wins, boom, you will almost guaranteed to be a Hall of Famer. I think those days are over from a standpoint of is we're not going to see those numbers anymore. I don't think we're going to see the numbers where players are going to be around, get 300 wins as a pitcher. Not going to happen. I forgot who the last one was. It might have been Randy Johnson. That's the last one most of us are going to see. Just not going to happen. Guys they don't pitch that much anymore. Number one, guys seem to be getting hurt more. Number two, number three, they get pulled out of games. How many 5 inning pitchers do you have? And if your team's not up, oh, hey, you pitched us well, 0-0, 5 innings, but then you get taken out. So unfortunately, it's different. I can understand if he bet on a team to lose. What's the problem with that? Yeah, I don't know, Johnny. I again, it's ball game over, 4-0 loss. I mean, you get in for the most any contribution, like by yes, but I think Euchre, but he was an ex-pilot. But I think when you look at what he did was again, Euchre did not get voted in because of numbers. Euchre got it voted in because of the Veterans Committee. I mean, you look at a lot of these guys. Phil Rizzuto should not be in the Hall of Fame, but he is, right? Yes, they should be in. MLB knew it was happening. They only wanted it to happen. They needed it to happen. The strike hurt him badly. I agree. I agree. You didn't get in on Kramer. Yes, I agree. But Euchre didn't get voted in by the baseball writers. He got voted in by the Veterans Committee. So your Veterans Committee is going to look at you differently than the writers do, in my opinion. I might be wrong, but that's what I'm saying. There were rules about betting on baseball. I don't like I said, to me, you know, again, uh, Bob Euchre has passed away. You know, Bob Uecker did go ahead and pass away. Again, I'm not saying anything against any of these guys. I don't know. What I'm saying is I don't care. In my opinion, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Actually, Bob Uecker passed away in January, Dom. I don't look at the Hall of Fame the way I used to. Well, I don't look at the Hall of Fame the way I used to look at the Hall of Fame. I look at it completely different. 100% different. Bob Uecker was um he was 90 years old when he passed away. I know Bob Uecker, not only Bob Uecker was inducted. Bob Uecker is also in the WWE Hall of Fame. So let's not forget that. When did Mr. Euchre get into the Hall of Fame? Does it say here? MLB debut, career highlights. I don't see where it is. Humor, wrestling, baseball. I'm not sure. Yep. Home run derby and Austin race. Yes, Bob agreed, but Rose did agree. Then he lied about not being fair. He did go ahead and do it. I get it. Yeah, but you're a little biased on the home run. MLB dropped the whole thing because direction fanatics are taking things. Man, that might not be a bad idea. Oh, he's not in the Hall of Fame. Okay, looking at, oh wow, I thought he got voted in by the what do you call it? I thought Bob Uecker got voted in by the the what do you call it? The Veterans Committee. Thank you for clearing that up. I appreciate it. He goes in the summer, right? I don't think so. Oh, he won the Frick Award. Thank you, sir. I knew he did something, but I wasn't sure. Bob is in. It was 2003. Heck no. Really? Bob Euchre Hall. Whoops. Bob Euchre Hall of Fame. Bob Euchre, but it was through the Ford Frick, as Lawkins said. If so, he's recognized for broadcasters and major contributions. So he's technically not in as a player. It's all the other contributions that he made to the game. But when it comes to the Hall of Fame, like I said, to me, right. Mr. Belvedere was a great show. Right, he is. He's in basically where like the broadcasters and the major contribution guys go, which is fine. He deserves it. That's good. You know, he's just a bit outside of the main room. Yes, Bob Euchre is in the Hall of Fame, but he is in the broadcasters section. Kind of probably like where Bob Murphy is, probably where Buck is, and what's his name, Harry Carey, and a bunch of those people, right? They are in the Ford Frick section, which yes, it's in the Hall of Fame building, but they're not recognized for playing. So Bob Euchre is not recognized for his play on the field. He is recognized for his broadcasting and other contributions that he made. Yeah, you're in a Hall of Fame. I don't want to know which one it is. But when it comes to the Hall of Fame and stuff like that, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see who the first player from the lifetime ban being lifted gets into the hall. To me that's going to be interesting. Uh, I wonder. I mean, will it? I mean, when you look at Shoeless Joe, I mean, he's probably um, the one that would come to mind at first. He and Pete were kind of sort of the two the two big names on the list, I believe. I didn't see the whole list, so I'm not 100%. Excuse me, I'm not 100% sure. All right. Mods, watch that one, please. Thank you very much. Um, so we'll see. I think I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward. I don't know who else is having a ban even if it's expired a black mark. I mean, it has to be in a way, Brandon. I mean, Brendan, it has to be a mark. Um, you know, they have to look at it and go, hey, you know, again, this doesn't mean he gets in. It doesn't mean that any of those guys who had the lifetime ban, it doesn't mean they automatically get in. It just means that their name can be brought up, their name could be nominated to get voted in. The people casting the ballots are still going to sit there and they're going to look at their paper and they're going to go through their little check boxes and be going, you know what? Nope. That lifetime ban, I don't care. So that's the thing about it, right? In this committee, from what I heard briefly again, and I didn't research it, 16 people, 12 people have to approve it. So if you get 5 people who say, hey, nope, to me, a lifetime ban means a lifetime ban, whether you're living or whether you're dead, they're not getting in. That person will never get in until that committee changes or one of those people or two of those people have a change of heart. Yes, the ban was lifted, so it kind of yeah. Well, I think the way I think Manfred kind of sort of worded it, unless I'm wrong, was that the ban is basically expired slash lifted, or all right, we can say lifted because the player went ahead, and passed away. Welcome, welcome from Scotland. All right. Mr. Tears, you a wrestling fan? Do you like are you a Drew McIntyre fan? But but again, this doesn't mean that they get in. They're not automatically in. This doesn't mean, hey, woo, Hall of Fame ban is bam, they get elected in June. They still have to go through the process. So, like, like Brendan go ahead and says, does it leave a black mark? Yeah, there's gonna be people who are gonna vote. Like, look at Dom, right? Dom is saying, "Hey, lifetime ban means lifetime ban. It doesn't get lifted, nothing happens. You're done." Right? If Dom was on there, doesn't make a difference who the player is, that would mean that every single person that was on a lifetime ban, if their name comes up to be voted on, Dom would vote no. That's great. That's what it's about. There are people that are trying to think what they're doing is upholding the standards of the Hall of Fame, which to me is a joke because their standards seem to go down and down and down, right? But that's the way it works. From right, he said they're deceased, so they can't be a detriment to the sport anymore. Again, I get it. Um, what are we going to do about it? We're not going to do anything about it. We're not going to solve anything about it. It is what it is. We'll just go. We'll go from there. Met CC Sabathia and Ichiro and Dave Parker Hall of Fame. Oh, that's pretty cool. Excellent, Ryan. That must have been a lot of fun. I've been to the Hall of Fame twice. Um, actually played baseball on Doubleday Field, which is right there in Cooperstown. Actually, played a few games there, um, and have been through the Hall of Fame. I would like to go back. I mean, it is a part of baseball. I am a big baseball guy. I would love to see how, if there's a time, when Mike and I could go up there, and spend, 3 or 4 days and go through and see the whole thing. Um, but that's what it is. Hypocrites because they have all kinds of rules. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I I I understand that, Dom. Um, but they are moments of the game. I mean, I think you have to look at it that way. They're looking at it from a standpoint of is this is was the record breaking base hit. This was the ball that was used, the bat that was used. This was the home run ball or the home run bat, the cleats, the shoes, the shirt, the jersey, and all that type of stuff. You know, I mean, memorabilia from some of the top things that happened. You know, I don't know. I mean, if we're really gonna, if we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start peeling this onion, man, we are gonna have a lot of layers. And when we get into things, man, there should be a lot of guys thrown out of the Hall of Fame. Mickey Mantle should be out. Drunken son of a gun, right? All those guys in the '60s that had the greenies and the reds, that they thought, that they were eating like freaking good and plenties and everything, the amphetamines to give them more energy. All them, they got to go out. What's a PED? Define a PED for me. Define a PED for me, because let me ask you a question. If it helps your performance, if it does anything for you. So if I drink a Monster, if I drink a Red Bull, is that a PED? I'm getting energy from it. So am I on a PED for that point in time? So I think there are that's what I don't like about it and stuff like that. Oh wow, that stinks. You had to have surgery. There you go. Oh, I drove by it when I was driving up through Ohio one time. Ortiz should be out. Been twice, played softball on the induction grassy knoll. Steelix should be out. Those those were no different than those trash energy. Well, that's what I'm saying, right? But that's what I'm saying though. So but did it help them at all? Did it? I don't know. You know, so I again, too much pizza in that town. Oh yeah, top notch pizza. Sorry. Um, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. What is a PED? If it's something that can help you perform better, then in my opinion, an energy drink can help you. If it makes you stay awake, if you're feeling sluggish, you drink that and it gives you energy to play a baseball you and play. Isn't that enhancing your performance? Again, I'm not saying that it is. I'm asking the question, is it? You know, I mean, I don't know. But all I'm saying though is that if you're, you look at certain things, maybe it shouldn't be. Diana had the best cold cheese pizzas. Huh. So I don't know that, but that's what, but Locking, that's why, but why, that's why I'm saying I don't care about that anymore. Okay. I don't care what Barry Bonds was doing. I don't care what Sammy Sosa was doing. I don't care what, the Rocket was doing. I don't care what Ortiz was doing. I don't care what A Rod was doing. I don't care what any of those guys doing. And I've said it on this channel before, and I'll say it again. I don't care, and here is why. From the age of 6, when I picked up a baseball glove for the first time in 1970, and my dad gave me that glove, and I put on that uniform, and believe it or not, it was a red uniform, gray pants, black cleats, red socks. From that moment, I fell in love with the game, and all I ever wanted to do from age 6, actually up till about age 19 or 20, was be a professional baseball player. That was it. I had one goal in life and one goal only, and that was to play second base for the New York Mets. That was it. It was the only thing I ever wanted to do. And I say to my and the reason why I don't care is this: 16-year-old me, 17-year-old me, 18-year-old me. If someone would have come up to me and said, "Hey, kid, take this pill, take this shot in the ass, and it could help you and potentially get you to the major leagues to become a professional baseball player," I cannot say if I would say yes or I would say no. And because I can't say no, to me, I don't care. Those guys decided to do it. Okay. A lot of the players decided not to. Okay. It is what it is. And that's why that's what it is. That's what it is for me. That's why I don't care. Because if I was offered it, I can't say 100% that I would not have taken it to try and live my dream. That's my reasoning. You know, I don't know. Jose, you know, some of the other controversy that he brings with him, even still to this day, wasn't he challenging um Aaron Judge to something recently, betting like 25,000 or 50 grand on some kind of thing. I mean, it's, I think, I don't know. I mean, to me, I don't know if I don't think it'll be in a good light. But I think it, again, the, they're going to look at him, big PED guy, wrote the book, writing the book definitely goes ahead. That hurts him right there. Um, but overall, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you look at what the guy did and stuff like that. Again, you know, good player. I don't know how. I mean, I don't know what he was like as a person. Um, he was a good player. Did some things that people, didn't do before, but we'll see. I'm not 100% sure. College in Delhi, I was at. Oh, very nice. Play Little League Baseball, high school, college, position pitcher. Wow, nice job, Ryan. That's awesome. Judge is probably taking a PED. Oh God. And John Elway still sucks. PEDs didn't help him at all. But we will see. Um, we'll see what happens again. But to what Lawkins said earlier, I don't think this affects the PED era guys at all. Um, you know, do I think a Barry Bonds, a Rocket? Um, do I think him? Yeah, A Rod. Do I think those guys will ever have a plaque in the hall? I think they will. I really do think they will. I think the Veterans Committee they'll be in on the Veterans Committee because I think there will be people, maybe not Mac, Barry, I think for sure. Because there are going to be people on that committee and go, you know what? There are still a lot of people out there, a lot of professional baseball players. Larry Jones, that used to play for the baseball team of Georgia, has said he was the best player in a uniform that he ever stepped on the field with, and it wasn't even close. That when Larry played with Barry, you at the same time frame, that there wasn't even a person that was close to Barry Bonds. Um, so will they go ahead and Will they go ahead and get in? I think eventually they will, but it may take, a lot longer. It went okay. It went okay. I had a lot of doubles and stuff like that, so I still have a bunch left. Got to see what I'm going to do with it. It was not, super, but it went okay. If you joined the show, if you weren't there at the beginning with the announcements, if you look in the description, speaking of speaking of sales, I'm going to be next Thursday night, 8 p.m. on Dibdit Cards, live show. Myself and Kerry from American Arbitrage Cards are going to be co-hosting a show together. Going to last for about it'll probably last for an hour. Um, Hoping to go ahead and kick off, uh, you know, the weekend and have a couple more card sales over the 3-day weekend. My wife's going to be out of town, so hoping going to try and have some. I know that I was gonna do Friday, but I'm not gonna do Friday because I know that Arnie has his thing on Friday nights. Saturday, man, Saturday and Sunday, there's wrestling both nights. So I gotta see either I maybe throw one in before wrestling and then maybe one in after wrestling. Um, but come in. The good thing, what's cool about Dibdit cards or Dibdit period is that um, as long as like I don't fulfill the order right away and keep it open, if I have multiple sales, once you pay shipping once. So with cards, I'm going to have a flat fee on the first card that you buy. And then after that, every card will be free shipping. So if you come in on a Thursday and you buy one card and just, boom, just let it sit there, and then you come back. If I do anything Friday or if I do Saturday, I do Sunday, I do Monday, and you come back and you buy in another sale, as long as I have not fulfilled your first order, you won't pay shipping. So you get to stack your shipping over multiple sales until somebody closes the sale out. So that's that's what we have going on, stuff like that. Yep. Threw a no hitter in Little League High School. Wow. Nice job, Ryan. Nice job. I never pitched. Well, I did pitch a little bit, but my dad didn't really care for me as a pitcher. My dad put me every place all over the field to go ahead and play. Uh, it's funny when I started playing when I was 6 years old. From 6 years old until junior high school when I made the JV, I never played for another person. I only had played for my dad. I never had another coach other than my dad, so I didn't know what it was like to have another coach. Which was, looking back now, it was very, very cool. Um, yeah, so like I said, so with card sale coming up, check it out. There is a link below. Don't forget, just pop in, even just pop in, say hello. So, well, one thing with a co-hosting show, if you buy from me, there'll be a shipping charge. If you buy from Carrie, there'll be a shipping charge. So, I'm not saying don't buy from Carrie, because he's going to throw out some good stuff also. But but that's the way it works, stuff like that, with the way it works with Dibdit. I am probably gonna have I got some Bowman, I got some archives, so I'm gonna be opening those in videos. So I'll have those for card sales. Gonna have non-card sales, gonna have wrestling cards. Um uh let's see. Football. There was a new football product that Tops came out with. I got a couple of boxes. I'm gonna open up them, make videos. Anything good will be there. Thursday, 8 p.m. Look in the description. There's the link. The link you'll go to is all the live broadcasts. If you scroll through, you'll see, Carry Huddle, card sale Thursday, 8 p.m., May 22nd. So let's see. What else? What else? What else? Man, we had we did have we had wrestling this past weekend. Backlash. Thank you. Much appreciate the support. And even just come, just hang out. Don't even have to buy nothing. Come and hang out, BS. I mean, it'll be good. Um, with all that kind of stuff that is happening with wrestling. Monday Night Raw. Yeah, I'm with Walking. I gotta tell you something. Monday Night Raw on Netflix. I'm sorry, but what are we? We're what, 4.5 months in, right? We're almost May, yeah, because we started in January. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with the shows they're putting on. I don't. I thank you, Ryan. Love you too, buddy. Um, yeah, I think, to me, and I think we talked about it. We talked about it, Locking. Like what John, Anthony, and I, we talked about, when you look at the last PLEs, they've become too predictable. That's the problem. Now, the Cena storyline, I get, that's going to be predictable because the guy's retiring. But the other stuff is just way too predictable. And I don't think it was, I just don't think that they're doing anything special right now. You know, funny thing, I mean, look at how many former champions that they have that they don't know what to do with. They don't know what to do with Drew. They don't know what to do with Finn. They don't know what to do with Priest. They don't know what to do with Gunther now. Because what are you going to do? You had Gunther lose to Jay. Okay, you had him beat up Pat McAfee. You're going to have him fight him again in June and Money in the Bank. He can't win. At least I wouldn't think they would pull the belt off of Jay that soon. What are you doing? That's my problem that I have from that standpoint. Is that they have a lot of former champions that they don't know what to do with. AJ Styles, what are they doing with him? But yet they push Logan Paul. And it was funny. It was Kenny Omega said, pretty soon, a number of years, your main event at WrestleMania is going to be Logan Paul against Mr. Beast. Bad Bunny. Yeah, he did okay, but who cares? Travis Scott. I don't. They have a good match here or there. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. What it would be cool. What they should have is they should have R-Truth beat them, and then Monday night they have a rematch on Raw, and Cena wins the title back, and then Cena has 18, only three behind Ric Flair rather than four behind Ric Flair. They had a couple of good matches. They had a couple of good matches. Rhea Rip, that match was good. What they're doing, the whole Logan is a good, in-ring performer, but I mean, he's an ass. Makes me wonder how far in advance the storylines are made. That's the one thing that, we always talk about, the long-term storytelling. And, you know, it's amazing how they, I don't know, honestly, how much they plan going back back then, or how much today they see what they did then and then just incorporate that, making everybody think that it's long-term storytelling. That's what I think is going on. Because you can't tell me, Punk was gone for freaking 10 years. You can't tell me 10 years ago they went ahead and, oh, this was the plan 10 years ago, 12 years ago, that CM Punk was going, Paul Heyman was going to walk down with CM Punk, right? So I think that's what they do. I think they go through and they look at those things and they go, hey, remember when this happened 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago? Let's bring that up again. And we think it's long-term storytelling, but it's not. Yeah. That unwritten show should detail how far out they go. Yeah, I don't, I I wasn't a Punk fan before, but I wasn't a Punk hater. You know, to me, I just, I don't know. Triple H is trying to dismiss the internet fans while they're streaming on Netflix and need you to subscribe to Peacock and putting internet guys in it. Yeah. Yep. And I was talking to I saw somebody posted on Facebook they wanted to go to Monday Night Raw, and a Monday Night Raw floor seats were like $700 for Monday Night Raw. That's ridiculous. You talk about pricing out the true fan, 700 bucks for Raw? You're out of your damn mind. And that wasn't within the first 5 rows. That was probably, I think the guy showed on Facebook, I think that was 25 rows deep on the floor. That's ridiculous. Absolutely freaking ridiculous. They're ripping off they're just ripping off fans. Yep. It is. It's gonna be tough for everything, but that's, to me, that's TKO. TKO, you know, I understand when you think about it, I can understand boxing, I can understand UFC being more expensive. I mean, I believe, it's in my own personal belief, that UFC fighting and boxing is not fixed. They don't know who's gonna win. I'm not saying it happens every single match, but I would think that. So I can understand you paying a premium to see the top 2 guys fight each other, but not for wrestling. Not for wrestling. Yeah. And the thing about SummerSlam is this, Lockin. I'm telling you, being from that area, going to that arena before, there's nothing around there. It's not like Vegas. It's not like Vegas where if you watched when they showed the things from the blimp, they shut that bridge down and they let people walk over that bridge to get to where the strip is. There's nothing really around there. So if they're gonna have, like WWE Fest, it's probably gonna be in like the Jacobs Javits Center in New York City. So people are gonna have to either stay in New York City and Uber or train or bus over to MetLife, or they're gonna have to say so. It's gonna be interesting to see. There's not a lot to do around there, so who knows what's gonna happen. Didn't like Pump, but they pushed him to beat Cena. Yep, I became a fan of his. Then I started crying and left him. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think he went ahead and got there. $400 for the first ECW when I stay in the city. I still have the chat. Yes, if you get that would be awesome. Is that the one where Sandman had like oh no, the first one night stand. That's when they were still ECW, not the one where they had like a reunion show where it was a Sandman and Tommy Dreamer against the Dudley Boys, and the Sandman. It was one of the first times, that they actually like sang the entrance. Like the first time really I heard its crowd completely, all of them like screaming the Sandman entrance. They were singing Metallica. He was smashing his head, and it took him like 5 minutes to get in the ring. And back then, that was a long time. Yep. Theme song. Yeah, you knew Backlash was going to be a bad show when green screen. That's true. That's true. It was funny, Larkin. I had about 5 people here. We were watching. The first thing we did, we sat down, we looked across, we go, "Hey, where's Smiley? Why ain't Smiley there? He's there for everything." That's awesome. Why would be the highest you pay for front row at a WWE event? So I think that might have been the one that might have been. And none of the wrestlers own the character IP, no back end. I think a couple of do. I think like AJ Styles does because he kept his name. I think when you look at some of the guys who are able to keep their name, they wrote those kind of deals. But a lot of them do not. You're right. That's why Brian Danielson had to go ahead and change his name. Daniel Bryan had to become Brian Danielson and all that kind of stuff. Um, I mean, what's the event? Is it a local event here at, the whatever the Coliseum is called over here, Allstate Arena? I mean, I don't know. I might pay a couple hundred. If it's WrestleMania, it's different, you know? Yeah. Yeah, I think there are some who make those deals, but I mean, Brendan's right. Most of them don't. That's why, that's why they go ahead and, um, that's why they go ahead and, and have to change their name when they leave and they go to another one. Any Raw or SmackDown, honestly, I would pay, I would probably pay, again, a PLE, let's say a minor PLE, not a big PLE, a couple hundred is probably about it. I don't think I would go that high. Not not with the product that is there today. Like Lawkins said, not with the product. Well, I mean, that makes sense. It was interesting when Cena called him Ron. He's like, Ron? He didn't call him R-Truth. He did call him Ron. Um, but what about you, John? What would you be willing to pay? Got the ones in the front row would be for it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, maybe. About, like I said, to me, um, it would be hard to me, in my personal opinion, it would have been hard to spend $400. Well, see, again, different scenario, right? To spend $400 to see one of John Cena's final matches, yeah, I think that's a good deal. That's something that I would do. If it were to pay, to go see, just a normal PLE, no, I don't think so. Do you think we saw when Cena left the ring true feelings or storyline? Man, I don't know. I think it's storyline. I can't believe it's true feelings. I think it's storyline of, wondering, do you start to put a little bit of did they put a little crack here or there, a little kink in the armor of the heel to be able to make that turn? Because I mean, from that standpoint, it's the Logan Paul era, half the magic, twice the price. Yeah, you're 100% correct. You know, you're 100% correct. I think that's, again, you know, you know, when you're owned by a big conglomerate, everything changes. Like, one of the things that I truly wonder, um, does Triple H truly have 100% creative control over the WWE? That's what I wonder. Does he really have it? Is he truly in charge? Not, all alone. And, is it the buck stops with him? I don't know. Cena's last tour can't end soon enough for me. Well, guess what? You don't have to worry that much, because the truth of the matter is, when you look at PLEs and stuff like that, there's not a lot of those left. Um, you know, it, I think when you look at it from that standpoint, Johnny, he has 7 months to go. It'll be here and gone before you realize it. From that side. Yeah. Yep. I think it's because, obviously, it has to do, in my opinion, it has to do with The Rock leaving. And I don't think it has anything to do. It has to do with The Rock leaving, him becoming a megastar in Hollywood. All those movies, whether they be good or bad, doesn't matter. It's a lot of money being paid for him, and then the power, in my opinion, that he has. I don't like it. Um, I don't think he. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely believe that. Well, you know what? Boo hoo you. Johnny, just for you. Ba-ba-da-ba. You can't see me. The last real champion in the house. Could be a silent influencer. Doubt keeps himself. True. Triple H always schemed against other guys to get to the top spot and never got there. That's true. Thank you. I didn't realize my son bought one too. Not for me. He bought one for himself. And he showed me. I was like, what the heck? I'm like, did you open my package? He's like, no, why? I go, I would have sworn I ordered that damn shirt. Maybe I just thought about ordering it. Yeah, think about it. It's not only that Triple H always scheming against the other guys to get to the top spot and never got there. Yeah, I mean, uh, I think from a standpoint of and it's hard to believe he's what, a 14 or 15 time champion. Also, Triple H. Yeah, very interesting. To me, he was good when he was in factions. He really wasn't that good by himself. Tupac called and said he wants "You Can't See Me" line back. Well, Tupac is hanging out with with some other people. Let's go, Cena. Yeah, so it's you know, like I said, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, I really don't. And we talked about it the other night, and Cena doesn't suck. You guys are not that nice. You're not that nice. 25 years. You see, this is why he's doing what he's doing. He's given you everything for 25 years, and you don't appreciate the man. That's just that simple. Show your appreciation for the last real champion. Um, there's Thor hanging out. Does W Hall of Fame have any queen? I don't know. Cena's always been a joke. Wrestling has always been a joke. When was wrestling serious? Look at what these guys do. Look at our truth. Take it for what it's worth. Sometimes just sit back and enjoy the show. That's what it's all about, man. Just be a fan. Like it. Like the guys who you like. Hate the guys who you hate. It's just like the hobby. Collect who you want to collect. Don't collect who you don't want to collect. If you like the product and everybody else hates it, buy it. Who cares? That's right. And you want to know why, Johnny? He only needed the 5 moves of doom because everybody else sucks as a wrestler, and he only needed 5 moves to beat them all. That's why. That's why it's the 5 moves because he only needed 5 because everybody else sucks but John Cena. Yep. Man, I tell you, I there's a micro wrestling that goes around the country and everything. I would love to go see that. I miss watching those guys. They didn't give us a choice, shoved them down our throats forever. Yeah, yeah. And he's ruining wrestling for all you people as we speak over these next 7 months. He's ruining wrestling. Not because he can't, because he only needed 5, Johnny. He only needed the 5 moves. Dude, the guy was the leader of the company, man. The kids loved him. It's the same reason why they push, some of these other people today. It's one of the reasons why they go ahead and they push Bianca Belair because all the kids love her. It's the reason why they push Cody. All the kids love him. That's what it's all about, man. It's all about the Benjamins. It has nothing to do with anything else but Benjamins. Supposedly, Cena's rest of his run, he will be heel for at least the summer. Yeah, I've always thought that. I thought SummerSlam, or whatever, maybe the September pay-per-view was going to be. Maybe they would go ahead and do the summer pay-per-view. I'm not fine. He ruined wrestling back in '05 when I came in. I'm sorry. That's what he's saying right now. F those kids. You saw that little kid overseas, man. He made the little kid a star by telling him that, all that kind of stuff. KO is out till June. Ooh. Yeah, well, that makes sense if he had to have that big surgery and stuff. They had to have that surgery. I gotta change that. I gotta get rid of that thrifting Goomba and get my huddle up there. Yeah, I mean, yep, you don't have to go ahead and see KO either. Man, man. Phew. Epiphany Heartless Card Collector. How about those Mets? You got it, baby. I think we might see some guys or gals we have not seen for a minute. A bit. Yeah, that's probably what they will do in that type of thing. You know, I can see that happening. Sorry, man. Yeah, I had to, my tears of joy that my childhood hero is actually going ahead and doing what he said he was going to do. The last real champion stood up and said he's going to ruin wrestling for everybody. And the last real champion, my childhood hero, John Cena, is making it happen. And I could not be happier. I've been waiting for this my entire life. I have not. Yes, I have actually. I met Buff Bagwell when he did an event at the high school over here. Buff Bagwell and what's his name? Big Papa Pump was there from that standpoint. Bruno Sammartino would be my childhood hero wrestler, and then it went to another guy that a lot of people don't like, and I don't care. It was about the in-ring stuff. I know he has made very, very bad remarks. I am a Hogan guy. Sorry, you don't have to like it. Oh well, too bad. Sorry. I'm an in-ring guy. I'm not saying Terry Bollea, not a really great person. Hulk Hogan. Thought your dad and friend Lynn are your childhood heroes. Yeah. From a baseball perspective, it it was Fred Lynn. Yeah, so they had, and it was what actually my I forgot how old Mike was, but call me old school, but the mix of Gorilla Monster, I mean Oakland and the Magical Comedy. True, I agree. The I'm not a big fan of the commentary today. Personally, I can't stand listening to Monday Night Raw. I don't really like Michael Cole or Pat McAfee as announcers. I just don't like them. Macho Man was yours back in the day. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so they had wrestling here. They did a thing for the football team, and we were friends. My daughters were friends with one of the football players who was kind of acting as like an usher for the night. And he actually took Mike backstage, and he got to meet he got to meet all the wrestlers that performed that night. One of the guys You know, he met those guys, but he also met Luke Gallows was back there and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. Oh, wow. Really? That's pretty darn cool. Yeah. I mean, I do that. I'm able to. I can. Yeah, Booker T, NXT. Yeah, I mean, it's yeah. I don't know. I have a Cocoa yeah, sure you do. Sure you do. You have a Kaka Beware tattoo? Oh no, Coco, sorry. Um, or a place where they sign orders like stores they did back in yeah, when they used to do that kind of stuff, from that standpoint. Yeah, I mean, I've never like, seen one of them out in public, at an event or anything like that, from that standpoint, I mean, I've met professional football players. I used to see it when I worked in the stores at Home Depot on Long Island, and I was working on the store in Jericho, which is like on the North Shore of Long Island. A lot of the uh, a lot of the Jets players would come into the store and shop and stuff. Met Altoon amongst a bunch of other guys, and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll tell you here. Man, if you happen to be at the airport here when they're coming in to do an event here, holy cow, at the top of the escalator, it is just a mob scene. I forgot when I think it might have been for Royal Rumble when Royal Rumble was here. Actually had traveled that weekend. I was coming home Friday and I come up the elevator, I'm sorry, the escalator, and there had to be 300, 400 people with posters and all kinds of stuff for people to sign and everything. Oh wow, that's pretty cool. Frankie with an open break on each side of his yeah, but yeah, here when they used to have it here when have it here, I mean it is just absolutely crazy. And I mean I'm sure outside the arena, you've seen Ethan uh, you know, uh he has shown pictures when he's gone to the local shore shows in his area of Kentucky and everything, where he gets to meet the people, meet the wrestlers, takes pictures with them at their, as they are walking in and out of the arena and stuff. Not much to put on his card as origin and weight unknown. That is true. That is true. Yeah. Yeah, where they come in and out and stuff, they're a little bit, they might be a little more receptive to, signing something for you and everything. But yeah, I've gone to a Raw when Raw was here in Atlanta a couple years ago. I mean, it was good. I don't know, man. I mean, I really don't. I don't see I don't see him pop up on his uh I don't see, things pop up for him going live on any notifications or anything like that. I know he has a Discord. I haven't really seen much there. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. So he might, I mean, hey, having a card shop, being a teacher, it is the school season and stuff like that. So it might be hard for him to go ahead and get on as much. It might yeah, they're getting ready to but I don't know. I mean, I mean, I don't think there's really videos for him to do. Didn't have a sub giveaway. I don't know. CEO Johnny Fire Starter Break says hello. Mike says hello. I was looking for him on Monday Night Raw. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's funny. I thought the same thing. I was wondering if I thought that's why I thought we might see a video or see some post or something of him going, but I don't know if he did everything. Dom says, "Is that my man, the CEO?" Yes, it is. That is the super working hard CEO, getting the job done, busting his ass at Home Depot, moving up the ladder. Gonna be a superstar there. Gonna be awesome. Maybe one day those three letters will be behind his name, wearing at the big orange. Who knows? Anything is possible in today's world. So, but WWE, I think, has some stuff to do. I mean, I tell you, the thing, you know, AEW not being any better is going ahead, and they are benefiting from them. I heard TNA has been doing pretty good. They've been putting on some good shows, but their thing is they don't have, one of the bigger, stations to go ahead and go on and stuff like that. So they're going to suffer there. But if they ever got a deal if they ever got a deal, who knows? They may be able to, do a little better, also, from that stand. Yeah, you're right. It was cheap, you know. Yeah. I mean, it was inexpensive back then, but you know, it's become more mainstream, and like I said, I think to me, you've gone ahead and they were a lot of fun. They were a lot of fun. Um, the shows were more fun, they were more entertaining. Uh, You know, I mean, look at our last PLE. It was 5 matches, and I understand Locke and we spoke about that a number of times. That's what Triple H likes. I just don't get it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand not every PLE should be a 4, 5, 6 hour show, but I would rather have, you know, more matches, even if they are a little shorter, than talk and freaking 7-minute entrances. Well, I mean, John, it's very different. They can't do the things that they did back then. You look at some of the stuff they did during that era, they would get blackballed. They would get, oh my gosh, they would have friggin' protests outside every single one of those things, you know? I also thought Raw was a 3-hour show, and this past Monday, 2.5. Yeah, Raw really hasn't gone past 2.5 hours. I don't think. Maybe since the first one, there was some that were less than 2.5 hours. I think it was one. It was like 2 hour, 2:15. It was crazy. True, true. I agree. Yeah, they did. You know, but now it'd be worse, Dom. But I think when from like the PTC or PTA, when we finally get those face wrestling fans out so we can enjoy it again as they did that stuff now. No, you won't. Nope. It's not going to go back. It's not going to back. It's a conglomerate now. It's owned by TKO. So going back, I don't see that happening anytime soon. I mean, it's not like who would the only way that could happen would be somebody would have to come in, buy it from TKO, and turn it private again. Then they can do what they want to do, and we know that's not going to happen. TKO, you watch. Got UFC, you got WWE. Don't they? I mean, do they have the slap thing? The other, what's his name? The head of the UFC guy, right? His slap thing. Who knows what? Who knows what'll be next? Pardon me. You think Sammy turns on CM Punk? I don't know, man. I honestly, honest to goodness, right now, as of right now, I am 50-50 on it. If he turns on him, that means he's got to turn on Jay, and I'm just not sure. Um, I'm just not sure. You know, I mean, I think it's a different type of wrestling than it used to be. I mean, heck, when there were no high flyers when I started watching, and then slowly there were some guys who did some stuff off the top rope. And when you had, when Jimmy Superfly Snuka, I know another scumbag. Um, Macho Man, and they started getting some guys going off the top rope and everything. But now it's completely different. Completely different. PBR and IMG. What's IMG? But yeah. But I don't think it'll be, you're gonna see more influencers. You're gonna see more people like Speed. You're gonna see more of these, these other guys that are gonna start coming in. These younger, influencers. You're gonna start seeing, I think, more of the, rappers, musician type guys come in. I just think that's the way they're gonna go, because I think they look at it from a standpoint of is those are the ones that are going to bring, they want eyeballs, and I am a oh, global leader, got it. I'm a part of like uh, a messaging group on X Twitter that's about wrestling and everything. And there's one guy who watched a while ago, a long, long time ago, stopped, and then he started watching again, like when Royal Rumble happened, and he's like, "Man, these guys, New Day, they suck." Like, no, they don't. You don't understand. He's like, "No, they suck, right?" So you're getting these new people in, and that that's the other thing. They don't see you know, what New Day was to where they are. There are some that won't see some of the newer people. If you think about it, Cena wasn't around that much. So unless they went to, the Peacock Network or and looked at some old matches of Cena, they don't know anything. They really don't know much about him. They don't know some of these guys and how they have turned and what they used to be. The Becky Lynch's, the Charlotte Flairs, all of them. So all those people. So it's a different type of audience. It's the YouTube shorts, to get the excitement a little bit and boom, and then, go on to, the next thing, whatever's going to be popular. That's what I think that's the way it's going to wind up being stuff. They're bringing in talent, in my opinion. Um, they, they're bringing in, and it's crazy to say, they're bringing in too much talent unless the thought process is, or unless the thing is to bring in a lot of mid characters. Like there's people saying, Trick Williams and Oba Femi, those guys got to go ahead and get promoted to the main roster. Okay, for what? Well, you don't know what to do with ex champions, and I mentioned them earlier: McIntyre, Priest, Styles, Finn Balor, Gunther. It's like you don't know what to do with ex world champions. You're gonna have these guys jump over them from NXT. And then what do? You just throw those guys to the trash heap. Though they're now going to be mid card guys. So I don't know what WWE is going to do. They have a lot of talent, and it's funny. A few years ago, everybody was ha 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 laughing and calling AEW stupid for getting all this talent, and now look what they're doing. You know, Rusev wasn't good enough to be here. They shipped his ass off. Aleister Black wasn't good enough to be here. They shipped his ass off. But now they come back and now they're going to get pushes. They're going to get pushes over guys who've been here for a long time. I don't like it, but nothing I can do about it. Mike, like you want to like whatever floats your boat and finds you some. Yeah, I agree. They should go. They should watch every match of the last real champion, Johnny. Well, that's going to be more of a joke because supposedly the dude is a boxer and he hasn't boxed freaking anybody. Well, I mean, honestly, you might as well. You might as well let him go. You might as well let Priest go. You know, again, because that I guess I guess in my I guess I just look at it differently, in my opinion, right? Because I look at it from a standpoint of is it's like you you push some of these guys so hard to be champion. Why? Was it because of injuries to guys like Seth and things going on where you had to go ahead and do it? You know, all of a sudden, it makes it harder now when you have double the amount of belts. World heavyweight champion, undisputed heavyweight champion. What? How does the undisputed guy become the undisputed champion if he never beat the world champion? How does that happen? Raw tag team champions, SmackDown tag team champions. I mean, you just have all these freaking belts. They wind up at the end not meaning anything. Card for Saturday main event is not that great. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be. Rusev wasn't good the first time in WWE. Alistair was going to be pushed before he left. We'll see. Yeah, I mean, Alistair Black is good, but let me ask you a question, Dom. In all seriousness, what does push him to the moon mean? Where? Where's he going to go? If he's on SmackDown, right? I'm not even know where, but but where? Where is he going to go? You're going to push him. What are you pushing him to? I mean, do you look at Aleister Black and go, man, that's an undisputed heavyweight champion there. That's a world champion there. I just don't see it sometimes. 3MB was pretty fun. Miz is still there for because Miz gets other guys over. Miz doesn't. I don't. To me, I think Miz is at a point in his career where he don't give a crap about winning or losing. He's about entertaining. Miz is about keeping his name in there so he makes money. Um, yeah, Rusev Day was over. Dom H is a mid card at best. Give him the IC belt. Yeah, I want that line. You can't call yourself the right. Miz is awesome. I mean, look, he plays the character well. Look at what he did, man. He turned it into you look at that guy. He turned it into marrying a beautiful woman, having children, becoming, a multi millionaire, a TV show. I mean, it might be canceled. Who knows? But a TV show. So I mean, he can speak on the mic. Oh, there you go. Yeah, he can speak on the mic and everything, and he doesn't need. Think about it. He's kind of in a way with Mello. He's like the mouthpiece for Mello. He's like the Mello's advocate. He's like the Paul Heyman for Mello. He can do all the talking because Mello, young, still doesn't, handle the mic that well. Um, from that standpoint. And that's okay. I'm cool with that. I like it. That's fine. But I you know, I think like I said, my problem, this is a Michael thing, is when I look at these guys and stuff, and I say to myself, what are they what are they doing? What are you going to do with Priest. What are you going to do with Drew? And I know, Johnny, you said go ahead and get rid of him. Okay. But you don't get rid of him. Who do you keep feuding with? I mean, so what? So now Priest and Drew, after what happened at the PLE, so now we're gonna get we'll get a couple of matches of Priest and Drew. Maybe we get them. We're probably gonna have to get them at SummerSlam. If SummerSlam is 2 nights, it's got to be at least 6 to 7 matches per night, right? So there we are, right there. So there's gonna be another one that we already saw at a PLE, one that we're probably going to see on like a Monday Night Raw or something, or a SmackDown, and then we'll see it at friggin' SummerSlam. Frank said he would not be against comeback WWE, but he wants creative control of his character. Yeah, I mean, but he retired. I don't know. I think he should stay retired. I think that would be good. You get rid of them. You have no big guys that be anymore. So Strowman's gone. Yeah, he should be coming back soon. He fractured or his smashed up his ankle when he did that tsunami off of the cage at War Games. So he messed up his, I think it's his left ankle. But there's another guy. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with him? Now you got to push him. I just think from a standpoint of is that I know, like I said, me personally, I have to look at it differently and say, you know what, Priest, Drew, AJ Styles, those guys, as much as I want them to be good and win all the time, maybe their characters, that's not what they're all about. They're all about fighting, win every now and again. Then they're going to win, they're going to lose. They're going to win, they're going to lose. And what's going to happen is they're going to eventually they're going to be used to push some of these young guys. When Obafemi comes up, you watch, he'll go against a Priest and beat up a Priest eventually. He'll go up against a Drew and beat up a Drew, from that standpoint. I look at AJ. Yeah, AJ is very humble. I think AJ is probably at a point in his career where he doesn't care. You know, AJ probably, let AJ go for a run at the IC title. I think that's a good one. Let him have it. Go right ahead. You know, but shouldn't have did him dirty by having him lose to friggin' Logan Paul. Shouldn't never should have never should have did AJ Styles dirty, but that way like they did at WrestleMania with Logan Paul. That's bad in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah, I think you'll see a bunch of these guys, go ahead and leave, and start getting out early and not going like a lot of these other guys did, into their, you know, way deep in their 50s. Now, some of these guys are a lot older than you think, you know. Sami Zayn is 40. Seth Rollins, I think, is going to be 39. It's not like, Punk is what, 46. It's not like these guys are, young 25 to 30-year-olds. They're getting up there. That'll be nice. Where it's like, I don't know. Okay, where does she fit in? Does she come in and be happy for EO Sky, or does she look at EO Sky and say, "You only got that because I'm not around"? Then do we have, do we have a feud there? Yeah, I agree. It makes sense. That definitely makes sense. The Timberwolves are up by 21 against the Warriors. They are going to close them out. That means we only have one. We have two left. Mm-mm. Panthers beat the Leafs to go up 3-2. What did Metropolitans do? I did not see what they did. Let me see. Let me see. They got shut out by the Metropolitans. Got shut out by the Pirates. That sucks. You can't stand EO, or you can't stand EO. Why? Man, those Lakers are playing tough. Oh, wait. Oh, man. Man, the White Sox have 14 wins already. Any White Sox fans out there? 14 wins already from the White Sox. What they do? Yeah, they got shut out. 4-0 to the Pirates. Clay Holmes didn't do that well. Clay Holmes gave up all 4 runs. Yeah, Tiffy. I'm not a big fan of Tiffy. I don't know, man. I don't know. Gonna be interesting to see what happens. You know, what they're gonna do with Becky. What are they gonna do with Charlotte? We shall see. We shall see. Let's see. If I'm gonna be home, basically alone Saturday night, maybe I'll do like maybe we could do like a live watch party on YouTube with Saturday night main event for anybody that's gonna watch. We could have it on in the background. We can talk about it while it's going on. That might be pretty fun. Yep, it will be next fun. Yep. Damn White Sox 10 games. I could see that. White Sox 10 games. They pull. Then again, the new Papa is a White Sox. Yeah. Yep. You got that right. Although he didn't help the Knicks tonight. Villanova graduate. So who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, no, maybe that might be something to go ahead and do. Maybe a watch party type thing. It's interesting how how they're putting all these events together. I think what do you call it? Yeah, Dom, that would be nice. Um so I think we got what do we have? Was it Stand and Deliver for the NXT? Is that on Sunday night too, I think? I'm not sure. Well, but hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. I gotta go. Me, Shaw Racing, Goat, and Jix G been doing Pilly watch shows since Royal Rumble. Really? Do you go ahead and put them on any kind of channel so people can know about it? I don't see it. I don't get any notifications. Battleground. I didn't know you guys are doing that kind of stuff. Who hosts them? Thank you, man. Who, Johnny? Who does the hosting of those? Probably do it, but not go live. That's right. We're doing it on sticks. Oh, okay. I'm surprised I don't get notifications for that. I'm gonna have to see why I don't get notifications. But so hey, I gotta go ahead and yeah, I gotta go ahead and I have to go, guys. I gotta wake up early. Gotta head to South Carolina tomorrow. Um, to get ready for the graduation on Friday. Pick up my mom and my sister at the airport and all that kind of good stuff. So thanks a lot for hanging out. Much appreciated. Um, again, don't forget Wednesday show, Thursday card show, videos, and all that kind of good stuff. And again, maybe we'll have some kind of live watch along or do something on Saturday night. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you guys. Looking forward to next week. Yep. Slow. slower than we thought. We're going through the loan process right now, so this will be Huddle Card headquarters for a little while longer. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you. Catch you later.